Megan. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Jen. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Wanda. And here is Lori as well. Okay, and probably more people will join a little bit later. Welcome, Angie. And Angie's here as well.
Hi.
Uh, um, I don't know how I can make you bigger. I don't know if you guys can see her. Oh, you can change the view, I think. It's up to the profile view, something, if you want to see her bigger. Okay, anyway, I'm very, very excited to have this chat with you, Angie, and everybody feel welcome to unmute your microphone as we chat and ask any questions you might have or type it in the chat. We are happy to answer everything as if it's anything comes up. Anything you want to ask Angie, here's the time. Angie was part of our book, Beating Multiple Sclerosis. She's chapter 4. She's sharing her story. She is a true inspiration for me. When I spoke to her on the phone and the first time and I learned about her story, it was just, I had the same feeling that same, what's that called? The jiggles, the same one when I had with Dr. Walls. So her story is just so transformational. So I let you start from the beginning when you were diagnosed and what happened.
Sure. Well, good evening, everyone that took time out of your day to join us, to take time out of your life to, listen to my story. I appreciate it. And I feel very grateful and humbled that you've showed up. And Agata, thank you for sharing your platform with me. So back in 2004, Christmas Eve, I had a 4 and 6 year old. For the month leading up to it, I was having severe numbness, problems with my vision, pain in my left side. I had an exhaustion that was um, just something that I haven't felt in a very, very, very long time. But it was debilitating to the point that I had seen the doctor. They did the MRIs. They I got the phone call and they said my brain lit up like a Christmas tree with lesions, which that in itself was just how they said it to me just seemed so flippant. And then it was like, okay, you're gonna have to choose a DMT, and you're gonna have to prepare for a wheelchair. That's basically where my future was going, and that's pretty much what the doctors said. They marked my life with decline, and I had a surprise Disney trip planned with my children. So I kind of sucked it up and went and tried to put it like not think about the big diagnosis, and just I don't really remember much of the trip, all honesty. But I know when I got home, it like hit me. And I, looked at my husband. I was like, you know what? You could divorce me. You didn't sign up for this. Just, it hit you. And I think after that, um, sitting with it for a little bit, I have an older sister who has multiple sclerosis. She had it 5 years longer than me. And I just saw her really struggling with the DMTs that she was on. Back then, it was like intramuscular. She had to give herself injections, and then she'd have to take multiple different medications to counteract the side effects of that. And then she would feel like junk. Then she would have what she called gap crap, which was, I guess, the time when the meds are leaving your body. And she'd have like 5 days a month that she would feel okay. And I said, there's no way I can function like that with children. So I knew DMTs were not an option for me, and it was not accepted 22 years ago. No one spoke about lifestyle, no one spoke about, eating. And so I was kind of on my own ship out in the sea trying to figure it out. And I did have help from a holistic chiropractor, and she kind of pointed me in the direction. She was almost like my lighthouse during this storm. And when I started to follow some of her directions, I had improvement, but I lacked consistency. It's almost
Consistency.
like
It's almost like
I would do really well. I'd feel good. And then when I would fall back, my body would go through exasperations. So wherever that weakness was, that weakness would, arm, hands start to tingle, left foot would be completely numb, eyesight, cognitive function, all those things would heighten. And then I would try to get back to it. And I just kept failing. And then, trying to be the ultimate mom, boss lady, all these things, stresses. So the first 14 years was definitely a struggle. I had moments of really feeling good, but then I had a lot of exasperations and relapses along the way, and other issues outside of multiple sclerosis, which I shared in the story. But every single one of those setbacks actually kind of solidified me to get back and just keep trying again. And then 2018, after a year recovery from a car accident with massive head trauma, a full, like it was a year and a half of OT, PT, it was neuro-ophthalmologist, neuropsychologist. I had so many different issues. And then the Lexapro that they gave me made me suicidal. Like there were so many struggles over the years with MS, without MS. And then when I got clearance to watch TV, it was like March 2018, which, gosh, how many years is that now?
Eight.
8. Wow. Okay. So I watched I don't know how I came across Matthew Embry's movie, but I watched it. That was like the first thing I watched when I got clearance to watch TV. And I was like, wait a second,
What do you mean you get clearance to watch TV?
I had brain swelling. I wasn't allowed to I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't use a computer. I couldn't use a phone. Like I had to keep my brain activity quelled. I was on melatonin like 16 hours a day. They put lidocaine, they shot lidocaine up my nose into my brain because I had such pain. And I had vestibular therapy because my head hit the steering wheel at highway speed. So so I wasn't allowed for almost 6 months, maybe about 6 months. I was in a darkened room. If I wasn't at therapy, I was in a darkened room, quelling the use of my brain. So I blew up like a tick. I was miserable. I couldn't teach my daughter how to drive. It was a tough time. But after watching Matthew's movie, I was like, wait. And then I reached out to him, and this guy answers the phone. And then I reached out to another fella in the movie, David Lyons, who was a fitness specialist, fitness Hall of Famer, you know, just everything. And then he took my phone call, and I just started taking their tools and started implementing them. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stop. And what happened was the discipline seemed so tough at first. And now I can't even, honestly, I can't even remember how tough it was. So when I tell people just do it, they're like, this is really hard. And I'm like, just keep pushing, because at some point, all the sacrifices that you make, the reward of my present time, I don't even remember that struggle anymore. Now it's just secondhand. Just like when we all learned how to drive a car, we were stressed. We're like, oh my God, now we just get in the car, flip on, and we drive because it's second nature. And that's kind of where I am with, I say, my 5 pillars of my self-care that I stick with every day.
So, yes, I was about to say you have to share the part that happened in the last 8 years, which is how
The
many
good stuff.
bodybuilding competition did you win?
I so after watching his movie and committing to the best bet diet, and to starting to train with David Lyons and becoming a part of support groups and then speaking about it, I was encouraged to go. David's like, you know what, you should go to school to become a certified personal trainer. So in 2019 I went to school. Then COVID happened, and then I looked at COVID as, whenever I was ever stuck home, I was always stuck home when I was sick. Well, now I was stuck home. I had a book to learn about personal training. I had David to learn about becoming an MS fitness specialist. And then I started to do that program. And then when the world opened back up, I went back to school, got the certification. And so I became a certified personal trainer, a health coach, a MS fitness specialist, and trained alongside my mentor and friend, flew out to Palm Springs, trained with 50 MSers from around the country in person for 2 days it was just incredible. And but before that, we'll rewind, because I didn't do a lot of people didn't do doctor's visits or, our yearly appointments, mammograms, and stuff like that. I didn't get to go to the doctor. And when I went, I had aggressive growing precancerous uterine cells and abnormalities. So I had to get a hysterectomy. On my 49th birthday, I was 2 days post-op, and they said, you're doing fantastic, because I went in such like strength because of the commitment that I made with those, with my nutrition and my fitness. They were like, all right, you're going to recover, you're going to be great. Had a severe internal bleeding and had to get 4 blood transfusions to basically get out of crisis. And when I recovered from that, I was like, you know what? It's like I faced death again. I'm like, I always wanted to do bodybuilding, always wanted to do bodybuilding. And I never gave myself the time. I never had the discipline enough to see it through. And I decided, you know what? If I could do what I did, I want to take these tools and take it to the next level. So I committed 40 weeks of training, of even more discipline, of taking the best bet diet and applying it to bodybuilding, and then applying the training methods to bodybuilding. And I got up on stage on 11/11/2023 and took first place at 51 years old in my first bodybuilding competition, against general population people and women who use performance enhancing drugs. I can't use that. So here I was, had to relearn, I had to learn how to walk in shoes, pose, put on a bathing suit in front of thousands of people. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I did it. And then I qualified for nationals. And then on 4th of July of 2024, I think I took 4th place at nationals. And it was surreal, because here I was surrounded by people who've been chasing the dream for years. And I was like, it was amazing. However, being that I was 52, um, it is very stressful on the body. I went and did back-to-back traveling. In August, I was in a pool swimming with my daughter, and my whole left side went numb. And she got me out of the pool, and I was in the hospital for 10 days, because between MS and menopause, I was slammed into menopause. It put me into a really tough relapse. And then I walked with the walker and the cane, and did 6 months of PT and OT, and got back to my training. And I'm now I'm getting ready to compete again. So I'm not stopping. But
Your all these stories, it's like you
I,
almost
I
like
don't
you
you feel,
lived.
you're like, is this for real? Like,
Yeah,
for
no,
real?
it seems like you lived like 10 lives.
I swear, I
And
feel
you
like
are
it.
like a living proof that healing is just inside of us. Like you healed and you are here in front of us, standing and better shape than ever. And you just shared before we got on a call that you cooked for 200 people at the soup kitchen.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just fascinated. Now you guys know why she's one of my inspiration. Like I can't say that if she can do it, I can, because I don't think that's the case in this situation. but I have to give you so much credit for all this and just keep pushing through and recovering and learning more about your body. And please share that 5 pillars that you mentioned before.
So I always so I when I had lost my eyesight with optic neuritis, I literally prayed to God and said, if I get my eyesight back, I will never miss a sunrise. Now I've been blessed to live right near water. I grew up on near these waters my whole life, a 5 mile radius from this water my whole life. My father taught me how to fish and clam, and so I appreciate nature, and the water is my healing source. And I go to the sunrise, whether it's 0 degrees or 90 degrees, and witness that sunrise and sit and ground myself and pray and meditate. So that's one of my pillars. My second is it starts with my faith in the morning. It's my exercise, it's my nutrition, it's my mindset, and it's my supplements. And that's like and I don't know if anyone knows Mel Robbins, but I'm a huge Mel Robbins fan, High Five Habit. And I swear I feel like I'm like she would be my best friend. If she only knew me, we would be best friends. But her her yeah, her mantras, her book. And I was given that high five habit post op. I actually did a post of it. I had my girdle on after my open abdominal hysterectomy. I had my girdle on and I posted me giving myself a high five. And it was like from there on, I go, you know what, my 5 pillars, high five. And, you know, there if I can't do the exercise that day, I am certainly going to make sure those supplements are done. I'm going to make sure my nutrition is on point. I'm going to make sure that I am filling my mind with hope that tomorrow I will feel better. And I'm certainly filling my body with faith. And, if I'm out and rushing and crazy with the nutrition, I'm making sure I'm dialed on my supplements. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we can't be 100% all the time, and I never feel like a failure if I don't hit them all, but it is like it's just a goal of mine and it's a pillar, and I just feel at the end of the day, you did it, Ange. And I just, that feeling to have other people feel that for themselves is just, it's what it's about, sharing our story. It's about sharing the modalities that work for us, the tools, and allowing people to borrow from them and to learn them. And to, if they're having a tough day, you have this beautiful community here to lean on, and have people
Yeah.
cheering you forward through the tough times and cheering you on through the freaking amazing times when
I
some
think
people,
both important. It's very, very
so
important.
important.
Yeah.
Like I always tell my kids, tell me two good things and one bad. We need a balance here.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be dump mom. I don't want to hear the bad all the time. I need two positive and one negative. So,
Mm.
and
So I know we have some newly diagnosed members here, and I wanted to ask you, like, if you look back, if you would be diagnosed like a few years ago or now, what would your
mhm.
advice would be?
um, well, it's funny because, well, it's not funny. I would say pause, do a full assessment of your life up to the diagnosis, a true reflection. What, drink, do you smoke, your nutrition, stress levels, sicknesses from childhood. Environmental factors through your childhood, trauma, a real honest assessment of, because I truly believe that our diagnosis is our body saying enough. And there are some people that go, but I was healthy, and it's like, but do a true assessment. Did you have childhood trauma? I had severe mononucleosis. My sister had severe mononucleosis. We both had severe chicken pox. We both had massive head trauma. I had 3 major head traumas in my life. One more, I'm done. I should be wearing a rubber helmet right now. But, you know, it's stressors in your life, what, do a full assessment, and then give yourself the opportunity to, I always say, I think we should live through it for a year. I think we should see how our bodies respond during the seasons. I always had all my massive flares and issues in November. November in New York is when the weather does a huge switch, and I suffer so greatly in the winters, and the stress of holidays, the holiday eating. I didn't realize how bad beer was. I haven't drank in probably maybe 4 years. And I'm not saying it's bad. I know lots of people that drink wine, but it doesn't work for me, and I feel so much better without it. But anyway, I would just say do a full assessment of yourself. Give yourself time to detox your body, because you don't know what toxins you have in your body. And then reach out to people in the community who have been living with it, who are thriving, and don't lean into the people that are just like, oh, hey, I'm getting my, like the woe is me, because I truly believe the energy that we carry within us, the positiveness, the surrounding ourselves in a community that's uplifting, it changes. I mean, you feel it. You get the goosies. You get happy, instead of this heaviness. And it's a heavy diagnosis. There are so many people that are ready to help take up that heaviness with you, and share their tools. And I think reaching out to people like that, or connecting with people like that, and you don't have to just listen to what the doctors say. And if anybody or any doctor projects sickness and negativity and decline on your future, that's old mindset. That's not good. It is not the truth. It can honestly be so much more than just all right, you're diagnosed, now get in line. This is the only direction you could go, because it doesn't have to be. I mean, if I had the knowledge I had now 22 years ago, I'd be like Miss Universe right now. you know and it's like I can't imagine. But what I love is that my children, oh my god, I'm like so grateful, because they are so in tune to their body. And when I see them with the red light on a vibration plate, or going for a walk and doing meditation, or using their heart chakra tuning fork, or using essential oils, or drinking chlorophyll water, I'm like, yes. My soon to be 25-year-old and my 28-year-old are, they have the knowledge that I never had at that age, and they're going to be powerful. And that's what I say, when people are getting diagnosed now and you start implementing those things, gosh, the power that you're going to have to get through the struggling times, to get through. Listen, life is all about ebbs and flow. Life is all about waves in the ocean, right? The waves always come. And I said this analogy to my children, and they both have little wave tattoos. Here's the waves at the ocean, right? When you go out there to swim and you try to get over those waves, you will get pummeled by those waves. You get exhausted, but if you take a breath and dive through that wave, you come up with breath to take on the next. And that's life. Nobody is immune to problems. No one is immune to a car accident, to a cancer, to a breakup, to a divorce, to, you know what I mean? So creating these 5 pillars every day will get you through not only the MS, but any other thing that comes into your life. And that's where you're unstoppable, because then you're like, all right, you know what? I could get through this. I'm going
Yes.
to dial into my self care. I'm going to bring in my faith. I am going to center myself, and I'm going to get through it, because nothing, good times don't last, and neither do the bad.
I love that. Your daughters, they are not afraid of getting MS?
My daughter was a D1 runner at college, and they pumped her full of Gatorade and bars and, hyping her up. And after she graduated, which she graduated during COVID, she was having issues with her eyesight. She was having balance issues. She was having gut issues. Went to the doctor, like, oh, your mom has MS, you have MS. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. And I found a holistic center, wellness center. They did a 6-month detox. She did a deworm. The girl is killing it. And she's raw. She's raw. She is all carnivore. She's strong. She's healthy. Um, she was inflamed from all the stuff they were pumping her with in college, and inflammation will cause issues. And she did have severe mononucleosis, so we were terrified. But instead of me just going, okay, I'm like, nope, let's go get your blood work done. Let's go, and she didn't have lesions.
Mm.
So they said, oh, well, you still could be active. I'm like, so you could basically tell it to anyone in society. So it's mind blowing. So, oh, your mom has it, your aunt has it, so you have it. And no, no. So I
Uh,
will.
I, I keep thinking about that question because one of our members, reached out to me, sharing the news that he is misdiagnosed, or he thinks he's misdiagnosed based on one doctor. So now he's talking to a second one, but he is living with this news for like 3 years, trying to figure out how to get rid of his symptoms, basically.
Wow.
So I told him that he's invited to be a guest speaker here once he finds out what's going on,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, MS is just a diagnosis. I keep telling to everybody, and I heard that actually from Dr. Terry Walsh,
Hmm.
because it's all about what you take from that meeting with your doctor and how to live your life after that. So
Correct.
yes, what kind of changes you make.
Yeah.
So what about symptoms right now? Do you have any symptoms?
So right now in the winter, it's the weirdest thing. I have here on these parts of my arms all winter long feels like hugs and burning. But I do 15 minutes in the sauna, and I do red light therapy, and I do one tanning session a week. And I feel amazing. It quells, but then when it's super cold, I have to warm it up and then it goes away. I was in Florida for 2 weeks last month, gone, no issues. So it's weird. It's weird, but it's doable. It's just a little I guess annoyance right
Yeah,
now, but I know it's the cold weather and we're through the darkest, coldest days, and I know it's only going to get better from here.
yes. I love
So,
that. Yes.
mhm.
So would you like to share us about the challenge? Because we discussed it here that we are launching a new March challenge in the community, and Angie had some ideas. And I think it would be good. But before we do that, actually, can you share how you like, what did you do? Did you always go to the gym? I know now you go every day, but what
Mhm.
was the first thing you did? And why do you think going to the gym is so important?
So I was working out at home. I did the Optimal Body training program. So I was using bands at home. And then I transitioned what I learned and implemented it into the gym. So at the time, he didn't have the program, but he had his training methods. So he's like, all right, Ange, I'm going to teach you this training method. You're going to do it for 4 weeks. And then when you complete those 4 weeks, we're going to cycle and do another training method. So then David created an online program. And then I actually started to do the advanced section because I was like, well, I don't want to be limited to bands. I want people to be able to grab iron and do it. So I started to film the advanced section, but then I had my other health issues and that kind of fell to the wayside. And, this last thing with the hysterectomy, that I was opening up a women's gym. I was going to be full bore into running another business. And that happened. but that actually pivoted me towards reaching a personal goal. And now from once I, complete this goal, then I'm going to continue with the training again. But sometimes we have to circle the horses and take care of ourselves. And once we fill this, then we're able to serve others. And that's, being able to cook for 100 to 200 people every Tuesday is a blessing. I love to cook, and I'm an empty nester now, so being able to do that is important to me. So I don't, what I'm saying, I don't like to put myself in too many places. But what was the question? Because me.
Um, yes, I'm actually putting this link in the chat because um, it this is a program that David started recently with Matt Roby. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I truly believe like our community covers so much and we are here to support each other mainly. But there are like small programs about food, about parasites, about fasting, like everything that I discovered, learned over the years. But I don't like to promote anything unless I truly believe in it and I am signing up to use it after this month because I'm doing the challenge and seeing, let's see my arms. But anyway, so this program is just, Angie, please share more about the program, how Matt and Dave, who is, by the way, coming to be a guest speaker in the community
Yes.
next month.
So I can't really speak too much on Matt's aspect of it, other than I had the pleasure of meeting him in Palm Springs, and I led the training sessions for the 2 days, and he led the mindset. And he is just, it is truly about our brain and minds connecting and being able to work. And if you have a lesion that doesn't, like, I have no feeling on my right lat of my back. Okay. So when I'm training it, I do acupuncture. I have to do different modalities so that I don't feel it, but I know that muscle's working because of where the lesion is in the brain. Sometimes it affects where your muscles work so he's truly about priming your mind and your muscles to work together and bringing that other aspect of it. So I met him in person out in Palm Springs, and I just absolutely adored him. I watched you guys podcast together. But so David, who has this well established training, I mean, there are dozens of training methods. And what it is it's a band system, so you can use bands, loop bands, handle bands. You anchor it to your door and you learn different training methods. So our bodies, we need to really focus on that brain to muscle connection. So, like, I can't just go to the gym, pick up weights, and do this and think I'm going to build muscle. I have to grab the muscle, grab the weights, and then I'm going, all right, I'm going to be working my biceps today. So I'm like, all right, Ange, we're going to focus here. And then let's say I'm using the contraction training. I come up, I hold that contraction, I feel it, I feel it, I feel it, and then I release. When you learn that doing 5 of these slow and holding is a hell of a lot better than what the guy next to you that's doing 20 throwing the weights around, and then all of a sudden it connects in your body. So then you master that training method, and then you learn a new one. So you're always learning, you're always growing, and you are training your muscles differently. So you might be doing the same exercise 8 weeks from now, but you're implementing a different training method. So you are working those muscles different and you're working your mind different. So it's pretty intense. And if anyone sees my videos that I share online of my personal journey, because I'm going to go back to, I'm doing another competition this year. I'm implementing different training methods. Some days you'll see me holding up and flexing here, and then other days I'm doing 1.5 reps. So there's different training methods. But what's wonderful is you can learn them in the program, and then you could do them in the gym because some people don't want to be at home. For me, the gym, because I'm a very social person and I love to I'm a social person. I love to be around people. And it's a positive environment. I love to go to the gym. And right now I'm
Yeah.
living in a tiny cottage, so I have no room to work out.
And we don't have I'm sure all of you know the benefits of working out and how it increases your serotonin hormones and the make you feel good hormones and building muscles, how important it is. And of course, looking good. I swear in my entire life, I wanted to lose 10 pounds and I couldn't. I did everything, including Nutrisystem. Like that's the food I was eating. I'm not
Oh,
ashamed
wow.
because I know
Yeah,
I'm not ashamed
right
of
there with you.
sharing. I know all the mistakes I made before,
Mhm.
and nothing helped. But this is one of the things I'm grateful for MS. All the gym I'm going to, all the lifting, and probably I'm not doing it properly, but I cannot wait to learn more.
Mhm. But the more muscle mass you have, your resting metabolic rate, like I just went and got my resting metabolic rate because of my muscle density. My body waking up, if I do nothing all day, burns 1900 calories. That's my resting metabolic rate. Then when I start lifting and stuff, so that's why how I have to eat I eat 5 times a day, and not huge meals, but I have to, fuel. Once you build that muscle foundation, you're you your body functions so much better. Like I had such bowel issues with my with MS. I didn't have feeling for a while. I had incontinence. Now I have a strong posterior chain, a strong abdominal core, no problem. It's like and it improves everything, improves your ability to get up. I mean, sitting, standing, just your endurance, and doing marathons. And I know there's a lot of people out there that do marathons, but when you truly learn that hit high intensity really doesn't work well for our bodies, and you learn how to train properly, you don't have to do cardio. A nice walk, yoga, you know, be have a softness. I always say grit and grace, the grit of the gym and then the grace of a walk or the meditation or the yoga, you know, that other part, it's not necessary. It puts our body into our nervous system into like shock, when you're pounding and you're running it, the only time you'll see me running is if something's chasing me.
That's my husband also. Um, yes, the challenge. Let's circle back to
Yes.
the challenge.
Okay.
Please share us what you had in mind.
So I had in mind a push-up challenge. Now, years ago, I used to, before I, worked out and really knew my body, when I started to want to just move a little, every time I went into my kitchen, I would get down on the countertop and I would do countertop push-ups. Every time I went into the kitchen. And then all of a sudden, and there was some days I could do 3 or 4, and I didn't do and I'll show you, or maybe I'll post a video, I'll send you a video. Um, you know, I don't know if doing push-ups on the counter now, because some people can't do them on the floor or on their knees, whether they have mobility issues or they lack the strength to have proper form. I, have people, we were doing it on the wall, just getting into proper form, doing it on the wall and then coming, you put your hands on the counter, you take 3 steps out, and then you come down and come up, and you just do them to failure, and then you walk out of the kitchen. Or if you go, I'm going to do 5 at when I make breakfast, or 10 at lunch, and then all of a sudden you're showing up for yourself in movement, and you don't, and then it's like, "Ah, I got to do them." But then it's like, oh, I could do them. I had staircase in my old house. Before I would go up the stairs, I would go up 5 steps and I would do a couple of push-ups. Then I was going down to the second step. Then I was on the first step. Next thing I know, I'm on the floor doing push-ups, and I'm like, babe, I'm doing push-ups at 45, and a lot of people go, women can't do push-ups. Hogwash, we can, but
I
it starts
can
at
do
1 rep.
push-ups. I can't do
Well,
push-ups. Like
all right.
seriously,
Well,
my knee has to be on the floor to do push-ups.
okay. Well, if you are angled at 45 on a countertop, it's the same thing as being on your knee, but it's actually better because you hold your core in super tight and you're coming down. Where with some people with the knee kind of hike up, they don't get it right and they kind of, have a curved back. But like I said, if I could, I'm wearing pajamas.
Ready for sleep. Perfect.
I'm just trying to see if I can. All right, is this like you see how I'm here
Yes.
and my core is held in and you step out and you come down and you hit your chest and then you come up. But you wide when you go out like that is more a chest. This is tricep. So depending on what kind of push up you know what I'm saying, you do. But you come in the kitchen, you do a couple push ups, and you walk out. And next thing you know, you're like, huh, I can do this.
Okay, so the idea is I'm going to post in the community dashboard about this challenge. And all you have to do is when you walk in your kitchen, do a few push-ups, and then the day or the day after, just comment that post done. And we're going to have winners, three winners selected at the end of this month, March. And those three winners it's based, I'm not sure if you're going to do the will picking somebody or maybe who did it the most. We'll decide at the end.
Mhm.
But the winners, three winners, going to get 1 hour call, a clinical assessment. This is how Matt Rowe called it. Clinical
Mhm.
assessment call that goes through everything with him. So that's the prize. I,
Yeah.
okay. So anybody has any questions for Angie? Anything that I didn't ask yet?
Unmute. I love to chat.
Yes.
I'm so intrigued by your story. I just am blown away. And I feel like I have a million questions I want to ask, but I guess the main one is I really want to hear about like what you did to kind of quell the inflammation along the way, but like what are the main things that you did to quell the inflammation, especially the neuroinflammation because that is probably my
So absolutely no artificial sweeteners. That I lived off of. And there are hidden artificial sweeteners in lots of products. I mean, I didn't even realize that the amount of gum that I was chewing, like you don't think popping the gum in the mouth, artificial sweetener. Oh, it's sugar free. Well, I wonder how. Just this is just me. So getting rid of all the artificial sweetener. Sugar reduction. Sugar reduction is huge, huge, huge. Um, I, gosh, I drink a ton. I obsess. I drink chlorophyll water all day long. That's a gut digestive aid. It's delicious. It's mint flavored. I get it on Amazon now. I used to only be able to get it in natural health food stores. But really just getting out the gluten, the sugar, the and the artificial sweeteners, and to be honest, alcohol. It
and do you
really.
do fruit at all or is that too much sugar?
I do. No, I do. I use blueberries. I use berries. Berries are lower on the glycemic. I stay away from citrus. So like if I had blueberries or strawberries or raspberries. But for the most part, I'm not a big, every once in a while, like in the summertime, I'll squeeze fresh lime on watermelon, but it's so rare. But natural, I'm talking about like sugar. To me, you know, natural sugar with fruits, I don't get to, I guess maybe when I first started, um, Best Bet diet, I was super 100%. But then when I felt like I cleared out my body, and then I started implementing things, and then, oh, that doesn't work for me, then I would take it out. Like I don't have problems with beans. I could have beans where I know it's really a no-no, supposedly, for some people. So I think figuring out what works for you, but clearing out the artificial sweetener, the sugars, the gluten, the packaged stuff that, even they say the gluten-free pretzels, it's junk, you know. Every once in a while is fine, but I think if you're really looking to dial in and alleviate and have a baseline to go extreme, and then you could always, pepper it in to see how you feel.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Someone just asked in the chat if she can contact you, and I said yes. I hope that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. I am always a DM away. I am. And I love to chat with people and connect with people. And, I always say I'm a message away. And if I don't get you right away, because sometimes I just go into my spam. I used to just delete my spam box, but now I've realized I've really met some amazing treasures in that box. So, like I said, I'm always a message away on Instagram. I love to connect with people and answer questions, or, just be there to cheer you on.
One thing I wanted to ask you, your keratin that you told me about.
Yes. Yes. Have you started the creatine?
Yes, I did. And
You did?
people are asking in the community. So I just
Yes.
want you to share your feedback on that.
Okay. So, well, I guess it was 7 years ago. I was introduced to Concrete Creatine. This creatine company, it's made in the USA. Um, I was told to just start microdosing it every day, and I started taking it every day. Went for an updated MRI, and they said, wow, there's 4 lesions of your 14 that kind of fuzzed out and disappeared. Now, I microdose, then I went to a higher dose. Um, it helped with my cognitive function. It helped with my lean muscle mass. It helped with recovery. It helps with endurance, muscle endurance. The benefits of creatine HCl is incredible. It doesn't go through your kidneys. It's water soluble. And I wrote to the company and told them how grateful I was. And they shipped me bottles. I shipped them around the country to different people. My sister's been on high dose. They stopped counting her lesions at 45 on her brain and spine. And she is super high functioning at 6 years old, using her cane for defense instead of walking now, in karate. And there there has been a lot of research on it, a tremendous amount of research on it. I was invited out to the company and spoke to 300 of their employees. They purchased 50 of the MS books, your books, and I did a book signing for them. They are a huge supporter of the MS community. Um, I, gosh, I speak on it on my Instagram. If you go back, a bunch back, post surgery, I spoke about it. There is more and more research about it. Research it. I think that everyone needs to have it. Women in menopause, women in general. They did a I Agata, I think I'm going to call Mark Faulkner, the CEO and owner of the company, and I think I would love to have him address this to your group directly.
I would love
Because
that.
when I sat and spoke with him, it needs to be in the hands. They Hunting's disease. They have been giving. They did a what do you call that when they do a group of people and they
Yes,
monitor them. They gave them super high doses and they saw a slight improvement with their brain. Huntington's disease is a horrible disease, but there is so much research on this. And I am a huge, huge advocate for the company, for creatine. They make all their products with stevia. I have it in pill form. Um, They have one with beetroot extract, which has incredible, opens up your all your vessels. And oh my God, I love that. It's like superpower. But it's an amazing supplement, and that is one I do not go without. Like I said, it comes in pill form, it comes in powder form. They even have it in gummies. It's sold at Walmart. It's made here in the United States.
I just
Um,
put the link in the chat from your Instagram account. I hope that's the right one.
yeah, yep. And then
Okay.
they have if you order directly from them, they have a code MS MSFC15, and it's like 15% off. That's not my promo code. They have that with MS Fitness Challenge, and they donate that money to the charity. I did a push-up challenge with them and raised $32,000 for our charity. And you can read that. That was in, I think, maybe 2021. That's back in my Instagram. But amazing company, amazing support, and an incredible product that I think everyone should have it. I'm not a doctor, but I'm living proof of the different tools that I wrote about it in the book, actually. I
Yeah.
wrote about it in the chapter of the benefits.
Can I
Yes,
ask what
Wanda?
you mentioned microdosing it to start, but what would that dosage
So
look like?
So it's called microdosing because if you know anything about monohydrate, um, so microdosing is like one pill or one. It's literally, hold on. It's a micro scoop. See. So like it's pill form. So they call it microdosing because it's tiny, and then their scoop of stuff.
Yeah, I have the powder, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's a
So if you read
five
it,
gram 5 gram scoop
right.
is what's recommended
Right.
as
So
a loading dose.
right. So that's what they call the microdose, the 5 gram. I do
Okay.
15 or 20 a day,
Okay.
but I do two in the morning, and then I do two in the later afternoon. But I figured out it works for me, but I also have a denser, maybe I have a denser body and I have different goals in mind. But how long have you been on it? A while?
On the 5 grams, I've probably been on it 3 weeks, getting
Okay.
close to a month.
Okay. Have you feel anything different?
Well, I definitely think it helps with my sleep for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
I did want to increase my dosage. I just wasn't sure because you said
Yeah.
you started microdosing and then you went up and you took a massive dose, and I wondered what the massive dose was. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes four.
Okay.
I'm so super hydrated and I love the taste of it. And yeah, I said
Mm,
between my green and this, that's my treat for the day. But yeah, it's like I said, they're a fantastic support system. But I'll call Mark and ask him because I think
okay.
hearing it from him, Agata, would be amazing because it's just, he might have better suggestions on the dosage because it is based on weight. So if you look at it, like one dose is for 100 pounds, I think. One scoop is for 100 pounds, if I'm correct. I'm not.
Yeah. Someone also asking, what's the green you're drinking? What's the brand? I'm trying to find the question here and I can't right now.
It's
I
okay.
think that was me too.
Oh,
Again.
okay.
This flavor is delicious. Wait, am I centered? It's
Yeah,
Nature's Sunshine. It's
let me see if
Nature's
I find it.
Sunshine Liquid Chlorophyll ES, which is extra strength. It's digestive tract detoxifier, but it's delicious. And I've been drinking this probably for 25 years. And now it's available on Amazon. Everything's
Yeah.
available on Amazon. What the heck?
And I just find it, so I'm putting it in the chat for you guys if
Yes.
anybody wants to.
And the bottle lasts a long time. I drink mine super green, but you don't have to. You could do just a couple of simple little drops, but it's minty flavor, so your breath is nice.
Do you do any electrolytes or what's the other thing I'm drinking?
Pink salt under my tongue. So in the morning, my first thing is, well, I do the good fight. And I do pink salt with lemon and water. And that's like my first instant morning flush before coffee, before anything.
Did
Mm.
you say you're
So
taking Good Fight?
yeah, I've been taking that every day for a year. Actually, a year and 2 months. I started right when Matthew started.
Yeah, I just ordered some, waiting for it to come.
Mhm. Yep.
Excited.
Yep, I've been on auto ship for them. I ordered it for my whole family, and then I'm like, what are you guys doing? You have to take it every day. So I
And
hoarded
you take that
theirs.
first thing in the morning, you said?
I do. I take it first thing in the morning. When Amy, I forgot Amy's last name, Pusey, I think.
Yes,
When
yes.
I spoke with her, she was saying, because if you take it with the food, it will work on the food. If you take it on an empty stomach, if I'm quoting it right, it works as a full body kind of mechanism.
Nice.
So I'm like, you know what, I'm fresh in the morning, let me get it in my body. I do it with a Celtic salt or pink salt with lemon and water, and then go to my beach, do my thing, and then come back, have my coffee, have my shake, and hit the gym.
Thank
You
you.
are so good. I feel like I have that supplement too, and I was just looking at the box ball. It's expiring soon, so I have to remind myself to take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm the same with all the supplements. I have this, actually, I have it right here for some
Yeah,
reason.
mine's
Uh,
packed.
yes, I actually have four of these, so I am good for a month.
Hmm.
And sometimes I forget to take it, and that's okay now too, because
Hmm.
the reason I remember to take it, if I feel fatigue or if I feel like anxious, then I need like, okay, I need to boost my energy. But
Hmm.
taking it like, oh, I have to take this in the morning and in the afternoon, it was giving me so much stress to
Yeah.
just remember and
Yeah.
then beating myself up for not taking it. Now I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah. That's it. I understand that fully. And that's that's what that the stress of not adhering to something can undermine you adhering to something. So
Yeah.
you do what works for you. We can't be robots, but once you get into the rhythm of something, then it works. So
Yes. Mimi is asking what is that? And then
Ah,
Isabel just said good hype. And
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
that's what we
yeah.
are talking about,
Yeah,
good
good.
hype.
I also want to ask, thank you for you and Angie. I mean, this is just inspiring so much. Um, I have a problem, Angie, with building muscles. I am also um fitness fanatic muscle builder. I mean, I'm not close to how you look like
that.
at all. I lost a lot of weight the last
Mhm.
3 years. I went down almost to under 100. I was 120. I'm now struggling to keep 100. And my right side is visually calf and
Mhm.
tight. Visually is the muscle is
Mhm.
like when you said, "Yeah, I'm working out the muscle on the right side, I don't feel the shoulder blade. I have the shoulder blade pain. Like I'm like,
Mhm.
the muscle is gone. My mind is like, the muscle is dead, the muscle is gone. Oh my God, I'm dying. My
No.
muscles are disappearing.
Mhm.
And it just mentally, first of all, is terrible when I see myself in the mirror.
Mhm.
I'm trying not to think, but it's like, why I want to get this muscle back. Is it possible to build that
Abs-
muscle back? Like,
Absolutely, absolutely. And that is where nutrition also comes in hand. You have to, when you are training. So if your right side
mm-hmm,
can, if you're working out and your right side can only do 5 reps,
mm-hmm,
you should only be doing 5 reps on your left. Even if this could do 50.
I'm doing opposite. I'm doing,
Nope. You do the most on your good side as your bad side.
oh,
And it's learning how to train that side of your body again.
yes,
And
that's,
that is where the training methods come in. You grab weights and you're just like, oh, and then
yeah,
it's saying, all right, you know what? All right, so this bicep muscle has atrophy. I'm going to, get it's priming your body and then evoking that muscle. It is intentional movement. It
mhm,
is no music playing. A lot of times I have headphones on. It's noise canceling because I'm truly in tune to my body.
you're putting your
And
mind there.
absolutely. And so if your goal weight is 110 pounds and you're hovering at 90, you have to have at least 110 grams of protein a day.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not feeding those muscles, they will not grow. So
Yeah,
and the creatine will absolutely help, but
yes.
it is really branched chain amino acids will help. There are other things, but it's training your body properly. And it's a different way of training, but absolutely you can.
Oh,
Absolutely.
this is such a
And how old are
relief.
you, by the way? Because
I'm
I can't.
43. Yeah,
Okay.
my video doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
I'm 43. I have been
Okay.
in the gym
So
for,
you could also be touching into perimenopause right now.
I did, and I think this was part of my
And so
symptoms.
what
I
happens is
lost.
your testosterone drops off to
Okay.
0, your
Yeah.
estrogen drops off to
Yeah.
0, you lose your
Yeah.
muscularity. So it's your best thing is you got to get a bone density test,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to get your blood work done and find out where your T levels are, your estrogen levels are. I was flat. I was suffering. They thought I was having another MS attack, and it was basically menopause. I got onto HRT, and now I feel amazing. I'm at normal levels. I'm not like
Yeah.
crazy. I'm at normal levels, and now I'm functioning. All the issues quelled.
Do you take
So
hormone therapy?
I do. Yes, I do estradiol and testosterone. I
It's
do.
funny that I just watched a video, a part of MS, just randomly about a lady with a company that is, talking about that hormone therapy
Mhm.
products.
The
They're
the
so
new
broad. There's so much to read, and you can just like,
There is the new menopause book by Dr. Marianne Claire was
mm,
an eye opener for me. The shoulder pain that I was having, the hot flashes, which were triggering my eyesight deficiencies.
uh-huh.
It all I this listen, the women who are in this group, we're all going to hit perimenopause and menopause. And the intersection with MS and perimenopause and menopause, when you are starting to have a flare or starting to have issues, question where your hormones are. Question. Don't get the baseline. Oh, you're fine. You're blah, blah, blah. No, get in depth. It is you have to advocate for yourself because we're all going to go through it, and I'm living it. It put me in the hospital. It had
Wow.
me completely debilitated last year, and now I started MRT, which is menopause hormone therapy. I started that in May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Okay, so yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like a
because
human again.
you're right. The OB, it's like you're fine.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
premenopause.
They yeah,
Premenopause. It's okay.
yeah. They offered me an antidepressant. I go, did you see that it made me suicidal? Oh, I missed that. Oh, I'm going to give you this new drug that alters your brain so you don't have hot flashes. I'm like, you're going to alter my brain when my brain is already altered? No, thank you. So I had to, see a different doctor, a women's health clinic to get this help. But you
Okay.
have to advocate for yourself because sometimes, we're having exasperation and we think, oh my God, it's my eating or this or that. You might have a tooth infection. You might have a
Yeah.
UTI you
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
You have to not, you know, it's like you almost have to be aware and question everything. Allergy season's starting up. I was having a little bit of vertigo. uh, Let me pop my allergy pill in, a little spray up the nose, whoop, I'm better. So it's like, not everything is MS.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a good lesson. Not every symptom is MS related. And
Right,
number
but
two, why
the
did we born as women? Like I don't understand on top of everything.
I know. Yeah, it's just a compound of things. But we're resilient and we have our toolbox and we have a community. And this is where we lift each other up. We share our tools. We
Thank you.
encourage each
Yeah.
other to take control of ourselves and navigate every wave that comes our way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you
Yeah.
so much. Anybody
Uh,
has any more questions?
I have one more question quickly. Talking about the weights, how you said, okay, so now I did more on the left than less reps on the right, but also I do more, not kilograms, but like pounds. Like, let's say I do 10 pounds with my left hand and 5 pounds with my right hand. Is this not okay either?
No. So you should do whatever max your week is, you should be doing the same for your
But I
other
want,
side.
okay, yeah,
It,
because the
it,
weak
it,
side I can't really do a lot.
so if you could only do 3 pounds on your weak
Uh-huh.
side, you should only be training three
Oh,
pounds on
I
your
was
good side.
putting triple the pounds on the left side.
So you are strengthening
Yeah, I
yeah,
want.
so all your brain is going to strengthening this and not to this.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll start doing this.
So
Okay.
what you basically are telling your body every day is you're weaker. You're never going to get stronger. Watch
Oh,
this side get stronger.
oh my gosh, it's
It's
crazy.
okay. Listen, this is I 14 years I ran in circles like a dog chasing my tail,
Oh,
until I learned the proper tools. And I think you should give yourself the opportunity to look into the program because
mhm,
I think you would learn a lot there about how to train properly. And I'm
mhm.
always a message away too.
Okay, great, great, great. Thank you very much.
Here is one
Yes.
more question.
Sure.
Angie mentioned functional clinic and doctors. Any recommendations?
A functional doctor? Are you
Functional clinic for, I think, for the
Oh,
hormone
like the
work.
women's health clinic. So they have Dr. Marianne Claire talks about MIDI health. It's online, but you got to make sure that you do in-depth blood work. So there are a lot of different there are a lot of different local places that you could go to, but then there's also online clinics because I don't know where everyone lives, but it's really about finding what's close to you and or someone that you could do Zooms with because I get my blood work done every 8 weeks. I'm monitored.
It's called the MIDI, MIDI.
Yes. So Dr. Marianne Claire had, if you listen to her podcast, Unpaused, she talks about MIDI health. And then it's a women's online clinic that you could get. Like my sister does creams. She does progesterone cream, estrogen cream, and testosterone cream, but she has a uterus. I can't do progesterone because I don't have a uterus. So, and I don't like creams. I prefer an injection and a patch. So,
Okay, thank you so much. If you
yeah.
guys have any more questions, just add it to the community, and Angie is a member as well. But if she doesn't see it, I'll contact her and we'll get back to you on there too.
For sure, for sure. And then give those push-ups a try.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I get to California tomorrow, I'll make a quick video on proper form and do a quick, a quick video of it.
I will take a picture before and after. So
That's
let's see
right.
what happens in like 2 weeks. And I hope you guys join in because I would love to get some movement in here. And let me
And
just put,
listen, you start with 2 weeks, but that doesn't mean you have to stop. And then sometimes you get your kids involved. And next thing you know, you're inspiring your family to move a little bit. And the weather gets nice, you get outside, maybe do some push-ups on a bench. People are like, hey, what you doing? Ah, I have multiple sclerosis. I'm doing push-ups.
I love that. I love that. Okay, I put the link again in the chat. And thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. And I hope I see you another time. And thank you so much, Angie, for being here.
Thank you.
And have a good
Everyone
trip.
have a beautiful, blessed night. Thank you for having me.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.